We currently have the best deal of the year live now on PoodleCFB.com. If you use code FLASH, capital F, you get $65 off the annual plan, or if you use code FLASH 2025, capital F, you get $6 off the monthly plan. You unlock exclusive spreadsheets, in-depth info, and our members-only Discord. Come join thousands of other members in the fastest growing and best CFB Dynasty community out there. Don't miss out. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 26 video, and in today's video, I'm going to go over how EA absolutely destroyed this crucial feature in Dynasty mode. Guys, before we get into the video, if you want the world of CFB 26 at your fingertips at all time, come join PoodleCFB.com. We have everything that you need to know and everything you didn't know you need to know over on there, from tools, spreadsheets, calculators, TLDRs, science, data breakdowns, constant data testing from our data science team. It is the greatest place for you to not have to ever worry about anything. All you gotta do is load up the site, load up the Discord, and just constantly be checking the data lab and our announcements, and all you'll see every day is that we tested X, Y, and Z, and this is the result. Happy recruiting, happy playing, happy building. Keeps it very simple and streamlined for all you guys who don't want to put in the extra time. And that's what we're here for. So make sure to check it out. We recently launched a bunch of new tools, a bunch of new explanations. You don't want to miss it. Come join the fastest growing and best CFB community out there. Come join over thousands of members just like yourself. Don't fall behind or be at a disadvantage because you're not having access to these tools. Make sure to use code FLASH, capital F, for $65 off the annual plan, or code FLASH 2025, capital F, for $7 off the monthly plan. It's our best deal of the year, and if you sign up, it is a grandfathered and locked-in deal, so as long as you're a part of PoodleCFB.com, you can retain the membership at that rate. So make sure to check it out, guys. Come join. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're at the transfer portal. So we're going to go through something that EA completely broke, and is one of the biggest off-season features, so I'm very interested to see what they did here, because the transfer portal in CFB 26 was supposed to take a step forward. The transfer portal in real life took a step forward. Transfer portal NIL has become so huge. We expected a really big transfer portal, and so far it had pretty much somewhat did what we wanted, right? A lot more transfers, more variability, which kind of comes off a very broken and very aggressive deal breaker system, which of course you can go to settings and change that, so not overly going to kill them there. But there is something that we did notice. Now, over in Poodle CFB in the Discord, I did get an at saying that people were seeing issues with the visits and they had saw something online. So we did some studying and some tests to kind of see if there was any weight to this, and there was. Now, the thing was, if you didn't test it, it was hard to kind of verify that there was a problem here, even if you had a hunch, similar to the progression issue that we went over in a video a few days ago. And that's entirely what happens with this game, is like, you don't really know what to expect, so it's kind of hard to like say it's not working. But we did notice something pretty crazy here. So let's go through a few guys, add a few guys to our board. Let's go down to these two guys here already in the top 5, so we can do this. I'm going to throw some points on them. Now let's schedule a visit. Now for their visits, you can use their deal breaker as the obvious one for week 1. So last year, it was very huge just be able to go ahead and put a visit on week 1 in the transfer portal, because you could just use their deal breaker. And now if you're a bad team, that can be a little problematic, because obviously their deal breaker may not be the best grade for you, and you may want to wait for some others. You may have an ability that gives you better visit boost after the fact. We're going to have 2 points of reference here. We're going to have Anthony, who's going to have just a visit on him, and Kobe Keenum, who's going to have points and a visit on him. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a save point, so we can come right back to this. And again, if you guys have never tested before, this is the best way to do it. Create a save point right where you're about to sim. That way you don't have to keep re-simming every time. So let's call this 35. We'll throw that on there. That's going to be our save point. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off everything first off. I do this all the time on accident. Make sure auto recruiting is off. Make sure everything's off. That way you don't end up with a problem where it messes up your board. Now what you're going to do is advance to 1 week. And remember, just keep in mind what we see with these progression bars at this moment in time. So we're going to advance 1 week. Yep, hopefully no one committed. That'd be problematic. But let's go see what we're looking at with these 2 guys. So when we look at the first guy, Keenum had a really big boost, and this guy had nothing. So right off rip, you can kind of see what I'm getting at here. It appears that visits in the transfer portal don't do anything. Now there's 2 sides to this coin. I'm going to retest it, obviously, but let me back out. Let me go back to the save point. There's 2 sides to this coin. On one side, you could be saying, well, don't waste the points. You have so many points in the transfer portal that unless you're like a really small school, you probably could still throw the visit on, but it doesn't do much. Like at all. Or anything. You basically just got scholarship points there, if you guys were like really paying attention to what that was. So let's go on to the Dynasty 35 again, and let's go back in, and let's rerun this, but in a different way. You guys might be saying like, oh, maybe the visit didn't work on the first guy. Let's take the points off Keenum and see where he sits. Remember that huge boost we got from him, right? Let's leave him with just a visit. Now put him on, and give him some points, because essentially he had nothing before. Now let's rerun this test the same exact way. But as of now, it appears that transfer portal visits are entirely destroyed and broken, which really upsets me, because it's one of those things like, look at what Bama did. Look at what Bama did right there, right? This is what bothers me with what Bama did in the first guy. They had a huge boost. So you would have seen that and been like, wow, what a great visit. Now look at this. Barely went up at all. Barely did anything. Look at this guy. Look at that big boost. All that changed was the points. He still had the visit both times. So you may have been saying to yourself on that first one, like, oh, Bama had that huge boost. It's because he had a scholarship, a visit, and the points. No, Bama just got that boost because there was points and a scholarship combined. As you guys see, with just the visit on, all they're getting is their scholarship boost. That's his boost for offering a scholarship. That's basically what that is, as you see in the right corner. It actually doesn't even show that a visit went through. It doesn't show that a visit went through at all. You don't get any points on the right-hand side for a visit, as you guys can see there. But it's pretty crazy because you would have, like, the reason it was so hard to really tell or figure this out, you may have thought like, wow, I had a really good visit. You'd think that auto commit, because that's where I noticed it the first time, kind of organically, but didn't put much thought, is that I had a visit in the transfer portal in my online league, and I looked at it and I was like, that's weird. Usually I'd get a commit there. I was doing some offline testing actually too. I was doing some offline testing when I first got the game, and I remember doing a transfer portal visit and thinking to myself like, wow, he didn't commit there. Usually in the commit week, if you have a successful visit, it's an auto commit. It's like cheesy in the transfer portal. If you get the week commit with the visit, it's basically over. And I thought that was weird, but I was like, oh, whatever. Wasn't putting much mind to it. It's not doing anything. You're not getting anything for a visit. Now in the regular season, it's fine. I can definitely notice the visits in the regular season. For all you guys are going to ask that. In the regular season, it's very clear if you do a visit on a commit week, it's like an auto commit. You can tell when someone makes a huge come behind on the margin because they had a visit. That's very, very noticeable. I wouldn't overthink that one. But in the transfer portal, it's wasted. Now, some people might be saying, well, like I said, do I not use them? I have 1350 hours in a week. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't use a visit, obviously because they're expensive, but obviously the only reason I wouldn't use a visit is if you're going to go for a full class. Where this does help you is this. If you did 4 recruits and then you did 4 visits, you could save those 4 visits and just go on more recruits. So this year, as you guys know, where 35 recruits doesn't hurt your grade like it did last year and kind of like averaged you down, you can just kind of go ahead and go for 35 guys. So if you're trying to get elite recruiter and max at your class, this actually can help you guys out by going forward and just putting all your hours towards points and not visits. That does help, of course, unless you want to just lock people out, which again doesn't really do much. So let people do their visits. This may be a good opportunity for you to go ahead and just kind of finesse your way to a few extra recruits. Again, shout out to whoever online somewhere mentioned that they had seen this, because it made me do a little extra digging and our data science team do a little extra digging, because prior to that I kind of thought it was a coincidence and I should have done a little more research into it, but now we have, and it's clear as day, and hopefully you guys can all see this and help you guys out and not waste your time with this. And especially not be so confused, because that's where it really bothered me, where I was just like confused because I tested it and it looked okay. Like this guy right here, I would be like, oh, that's a pretty decent visit boost. Look at me, I'm almost in first. I need one more good week and I'll overtake him. Nope. So you can do as much testing as you want with this. I'm not going to waste too much more time with this. As you guys can see, if it was this, I could throw it on here. If it was super simple and super impactful, it would just work. Right, it would just work in general. There's not much more testing to be done here with these guys. You could toss a visit on this guy if you wanted to, but it was very clear with these first 2. Feel free to test it yourself. If you guys have any questions regarding this in terms of transfer portal, I'm making these videos. Again, this isn't even an exploit, so hopefully EA just sees it. It's not going to be very flashy, but hopefully they see it and they fix it. If you guys want to raise your concerns to them, feel free to do so. Comment down below, tweet at them. We need this fixed. Transfer portal's huge this year. We have crazy prospects coming through each and every year. We have Falk and we have Cam Coleman and we have Hubbard, and we can't place visits on them, and that frustrates me and probably a lot of other people. So let's get this fixed and let's make this right. But hopefully you guys, I mean, some of you may have noticed this already. If you haven't, hopefully this should help. If you guys want to be a part of all these data studies and all this tests and things we do over on PoodleCFB.com, head on over. If you want to dominate your dynasty and not fall behind, that's the place to be. Use code FLASH, capital F, for $65 off the annual plan, and code FLASH 2025 for $7 off the monthly plan. Everything you could ever need in Dynasty, plus the things you didn't know you need, are over on that site. Spreadsheets, tools, data studies, TLDRs. Makes it super simple for the average guy. Like I always say, the dad that comes home from a long work week on a Friday night who just wants to load up some Dynasty in a league, and he's getting killed around by other people with all these methods and tactics. Poodle CFB, no video watching required. Just head on in there, read all the updates, and you know exactly how to attack with pictures and with basic summaries. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.